get it. Let's get it right into it. So today we're going to talk. Today is rap and graffiti. We're starting off the month, obviously with those two elements. Next week will be the DJ and the b-boy. Today, rap and graffiti. Now, here's what I want to say real quick. Um, b-boy and graffiti DJing, and maybe even DJing can spawn off a bunch of different directions. For the most part, the graph and the b-boy stays in one lane. But when it comes to rap, and I do emphasize rap or hip hop music as the genre, I think we have a lot more of a range, right? Because we can say, okay, rap, and today we're gonna, I have a topic of, hip hop shows, right? I'm gonna talk a little bit about some shows, some fans. You have a few things to talk about, quote unquote fans, and we'll get right into it. So, when we say rap and graffiti, I just want to give that heads up. Like, we're not necessarily always gonna talk about the art of rapping or the you know the MCing or the way they write. It could range from wide spectrums or whatever.
So much different shit, yeah.
Bunch of different shit, because that gives us, we could talk this shit forever. So I will also say this, and I know you're the one that told me not to do this, but unfortunately I am. Instagram's fucking with my page this week, pretty bad, so I'm noticing the whole live thing. It's not a big deal to me. It's about you and I just having a conversation, but I have noticed that I'll post shit, nobody sees it, and it's always just a pet peeve, but we keep it moving.
All good.
All right, brother. So, I can start it off. You can start it off. Whatever. Let's do it.
I'm gonna set it off because it's Woo Wednesday. I'll set it this one. So, I posted yesterday. I posted a great question. Or today, or whatever. I don't. Whatever. I'm high. So whenever within the past couple of days, I posted a survey question. Said, shit. Name an artist who who can spit but needs better beats.
I think that was today that you posted that.
Yeah. Somebody said Method Man. And I was like, even his old stuff, and the person said, for the most part, I never liked any. I didn't, I'm paraphrasing. For the most part, all of it, except for a couple of joints here or there, that he felt like he got a pass, or felt like he got a pass when he got with Reggie, but had some better beats. But for most of his music, he felt he didn't have good beats. He said, I would love to. He said something and took a little jab at him at the end. And so that prompted me to think, damn, because I've heard it a few times that people are like Method Man. Like first of all, they shit on it. I heard people shit on the Takao album a lot. I see that a lot. I would get your thoughts on that. This is a big one for me, this topic here. They shit on the Takao album a lot. I hear him getting like kind of shit on because his album, because it wasn't Supreme Clientele or whatever, which was a fucking collab. And people like, I don't know if you hear Method Man getting crushed a lot. I hear Method Man getting okay. So all right. So yeah, just so it's just a crazy thing to me. And before I share my thoughts, I'm just curious what you make of that as far as first of all, what are your thoughts on the Takao album? Let's just go there, bro.
I've said it before.
I'm sorry, I was high then too.
Not a hate. It's all good. This was probably one of our first conversations that we ever had when we did these lives. But even though, okay, this is not what you asked me, but so my favorite individual Wu album would be Iron Man, hands down. Amazing. Now, it's crazy because I'm a big fan of Liquid Swords. But, I'm a fan of all of it. All the good for Cuban Links, all that good shit. Now, even though my favorite is Iron Man, the one I play the most in terms of individual albums would be the Takao album. And that's more of what I was going through, or not so much going through, but what I was living at the time. It was a time and space where that album was being played a lot. So it's more of a nostalgic feel. Now, that's not to take away or add on to the value of the album, I thought the album was dope. I get where, only bit for Cuban Links and Iron Man, the Liquid Swords gets overshadowed. Tikal gets overshadowed by those albums. But let's be honest, for the most part, an Iron Man and Only Built for Cuban Links, those are collab albums, like you said, right? It's Ray, Ghost, possibly Capadonna, Jizza, and it's always been like that, right? Ray and Ghost were always together. Jizza always had Killa with him, Master Killa. Deck didn't have anybody. I mean, you had him on, and it was him solo. Not, let alone on lyrics. I think he had a few guests, if I'm not mistaken, but production wise as well. Now, Method Man, he had Ray on it. I can't remember. I'm fucking tripping right now. Either way, in terms of production, I thought it's one of his best produced albums.
Yeah.
I think it's one of his best produced albums.
I think it is the best produced album.
Yeah. I mean, the second one, Took Out 2000, even though I like that joint too, it was a little more up tempo. It's let's be honest. Here's what I think, and it's well documented within the Wu members and fans or whatnot. Matt for Chef, that's what I was trying to fucking say. I'm not even high, but
that's how good the weed is.
I'm getting it through the phone, but I think Meth was supposed and came out as the showman dude, right? The front man. That's why they had the METHOD man. They had to have that radio banger. He was just the one that had that charisma. There's video of them, fighting in the bus, talking about like he's the one that just does the interviews. Like he was more of the, I don't want to say friendly face, but the charisma was there, right? So I think when that album came out, people probably, I mean, I this is not my view, but I think they probably felt like, yeah, that album is gonna be a Only Built for Cuban Links, something up there that made more of an effect than it did. But again, I'm a big fan of that album. So the one I play the most would be Tikal, even though Iron Man is my favorite.
I agree with you wholeheartedly on that point. That I think that I don't even know if he could live up to what people were seeing were going to see after they saw Method Man. You know what I mean? The Method Man joint and shit. I don't even know if it was possible, but you're right. I think when it didn't live up to that, but I hear some wild shit though. It was whack. You know what I mean? I can hear you can say like, okay, it wasn't as good as this. Okay, fine, it wasn't as good as Only Built for You. But like, I hear whack. I hear, I'm saying, damn. I'm like, I heard some Mr. Sandman, Relisha Delph.
So crazy. Come on now.
I don't know. I'm like, yo, what are you listening to? So I think people just kind of, I don't know, have an axe to grind sometimes. You know what I mean? Like just disappointed or whatever. I don't know, but I thought it was a really good album. I think it's a dope. I didn't skip through it or anything. I think it was a no skipper for me. I didn't skip through any joints on that album. It wasn't like, oh, I know it's a no skipper for me. So I was just curious. I mean, because, it came up again, in that post, and I was just curious. So that's my thing on that. So we can move on. But that was just.
Well, let me jump in a little bit, right? Because
sure.
Production wise, we have to look at it in the big spectrum, right? I understand that first album. I love the production. Second album, which is Took Out 2000, had a few. I mean, that definitely had skippable tracks. Aside from that, though, I believe it had a significant amount more tracks than the first one. More. I want to talk about this too. More features on this second album outside of the Wu, right? So it was kind of like, all right, yeah, I'm really hesitant when I see a lot of features. But so that's one. But anything post Tikal 2000 really was questionable to me in terms of production. Now, we also have to acknowledge the era, right? Tikal came out in 94.
Yes.
Tikal 2000 came out late 90s.
Yeah.
It's a huge, we got to acknowledge, right? I know we have, youngsters that don't know and I don't say that in a bad way, that don't know, but 88 was different than 90. 90 was different than 91, 92. So we had very small changes in the years as the increments came in. So let alone 94 to like 99, that's a huge different sound, right? You had more of a Swiss Beats type of sound late 90s to where, RZA was really killing it. Maybe even Pete Rock in the 90s, Large Pro.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of beat selection, I can see how someone can say that about meth, but I like how I say meth instead of meth. But that I've heard that first album. I'll tell you this. I can't even remember who the hell told me this. I had someone tell me that they dug I can't even remember the name of the fucking album. You God's solo album better than Tikal.
Yeah, they must be smoking dust. So
the conversation, I can tell you, the conversation was just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. I'll talk. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, all right,
That's
cool.
a you'll be all right. So no, good add on there because I do agree with you. I I wasn't even looking at 2000. I was disappointed to be honest. I'll be honest with you. So yeah, I can see why they would say he needs better beats because I think he can still spit like crazy. Like, and I think he's gotten better. I think he can still spit, but he's been on some question tracks. I mean, I'll be honest about that. So that's just a fact. So, but and I would agree with that, but it's just the person made a bigger generalization about like all. That's why I said. That's why I qualified it. I said the earlier stuff too. You know what I mean? I was just like, that's why I was on board reading it, but earlier, like I was like, come on, like Carlton Fisk blew out. It was on. I mean, the album was dope. That's bottom line. But yeah, but as far as like later, so we're on board with that. That's where.
Yeah, no, what the blood? I mean, it's a dope album.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good because Meth doesn't get talked too much about in terms of lyrics, and he's witty as fuck too. He's very visual from the naps to the bunion on my big toe. Instead of saying from top to bottom, from my head to my feet, just the visuals, like, and raw. I mean, a bunch of dope shit that he spits. Makes you think.
Yeah. Huh?
No, that's it. It's just a bunch of shit.
Yeah. So, all right, what you got?
So let's move. So again, we're talking rap right now, and what I really want to discuss is we'll talk about rap concerts or hip hop shows, hip hop concerts these days. Again, I can only give my opinion and what I've seen. I'll take it back. I mean, talk about eras, right? We're talking different eras. I came up in an era where phones weren't a thing, right? I remember my first concert. I was still taking a 8mm camera. So it was back in those days. You take a picture. Hopefully, it comes out good. So with that said, the energy for these shows, right? It's known that these artists, or whoever's stepping on stage, feeds off the crowd, right? And I get it as a writer. I mean, I've spit for a crowd before, but it's different when you're actually, you have a live show and you got stuff, correlated and shit like that. But the first time I was like, oh, what the fuck is going on? This was 2006, if I'm not mistaken. Saw an Outkast show. I mean, this is Outkast, 2006, where, I think Seikonia was maybe 2 years in. I don't want to talk about the album, but I really want to talk about the feel of hip hop at the time, right? It was big. Outkast was huge. But I noticed, I'm like, okay, we know this song, which was Bombs Over Baghdad. They're playing Bombs Over Baghdad. Wifey and I, my cousin and I, were way the fuck in the back, right? Money wasn't right, so we got some booty seats. And I in the middle of me, like, doing this, I look at the front, motherfuckers is just like this. And I'm like, all right, you obviously paid pretty significant amount of money to be up in the front. Gina, you remember that? So I would figure people that have, and who knows, maybe it's because of the money, but the fans or the concert goers, I can't even say the fans, the concert goers are a big part of the vibe of the show, right? You the artist gives the music, the fans respond with the vibe, the artist feeds off that vibe, and you get that live show. What happened, if we know, what happened to that energy that, yeah, I got tickets to this, we got to go, we got to hit early? Is it, and this is kind of like my second part, but is it social media? Is it that now when you look at the sea of crowd, the crowd, and it's all phones, the light, right, just recording, where it's like before there was none of that. It was just you pumping your fist and just going along with the music. I noticed that 2006. I'm not sure if you noticed that in any of the shows that you went to.
Um, I can't say when I noticed it first time. It was based on my hiatus off the grid shit, but I, I do remember how shows were before. Stuff is always better when it's new. I'll say that, right? Like when stuff is the energy in the '90s was can't be replicated and stuff. So I think certain vibes I recreate. But as far as being at a show, I've seen some terrible fan participation shit, like just like you described. And I don't know. I don't think it's the phone things. I mean, I think you can rock out and still have a phone, but I think phones are dope to catch footage. I mean, obviously based on doing what I do, but I think you can still get. I put it away, take it out, put it away. You know what I mean? But um, I think some people are more interested about being seen. I think some. I think a lot of shows, though. I think one problem is that a lot of shows aren't booked right, like
Oof.
like
Okay.
or promoted right. So like you might have the wrong fans at the wrong show. I've seen that a lot. Where like there was Mayhem Loren opened up for Jizza here in a very Midwestern type vibe shit. It just didn't work. It didn't work at all. Like I mean, so I think certain I don't know, you gotta just kind of think the promotion is also fucked up too. Like sometimes, you know what I mean? Like some shit's whack there. But fans, the relationship is. I mean, we're also think of shows now. I mean, I don't know what that Outcast show is like, but think of the shows now. Fans got to sit through like 15 shitty acts to get
That's
through.
a great point.
So by the time the headliner comes on, people be here. People have gone. People have left. People people will leave if there's too many like bullshit acts. So you got that too. By the time the crowd's not warmed up, the crowd should be hyped off the openers, but they're like, these openers are trash. They out there smoking, chilling. Nobody's fucking with the openers except their people. They just got their people in the front. That's it.
That's a great point. That's a great point. So yeah, because back then, again, it goes back to the underground being the mainstream, right? You had shows, Brand Nubian, Black Sheep opened up for Brand Nubian, Daylock, and Quest. Right? That's the show. I mean, those are big names to where now, and no disrespect to any promoters or any artists, but now it's like you got a main headliner, right? Jungle Brothers, KRS One, whatever it is, and a few locals that the names pop, but other than that, it's just names you've never heard of. So either you're gonna get people that are not feeling it and are probably drained in the wrong way by the time the headliner comes in, or they're just not gonna show up until the very end, and at that point they're probably half wasted, and that's the reason why they're not welling out. I
Right. And
saw. Go ahead.
and those people also, a lot of the artists now also pay to get on. So the lineup doesn't even fit. You know what I'm saying? Like someone to the honest, yeah, shut the honest. Openers were more hyped than headliners at times.
So
That's true too.
that's very true. I know, and I'm not going to say any names, but I know of situations where the headliner purposely asked the sound man to turn down the openers or the previous acts sound because the crowd was too hype. And by the time, bro, politics, yes, absolutely. That's fucking wild to me. And I'll tell you who it was.
Yeah, I mean, that's wild, you know. So we just named like 6 different factors. There's a lot of factors contributing to it. The fans are usually, well, if you're looking at it now, there's going back to when it started, which is I'm not sure was it the fans, but I think there were some changes in the lineups. And I mean, you got to get good shows. I mean, I've been to good hip hop shows in the past, few years. So you got to get good show, but they all had dope lineups. I was at a dope show. Big up Grand Rapids, Michigan. They had B-Boys opening, doing like just a demonstration. It was just a cipher rocking out, local crew. And then they had the DJ was doing his thing while the B-Boys were doing their thing. Big up L1 out there, Grand Rapids. And then they're on rap started, and everybody was good, decent. Every opener was decent, and then outperformed. Every opener was decent, so decent to good, and so it was a great show. Like people were there, people were like feeling people were feeling everybody, and it was dope. So it can happen, but you got to have the right lineup too. You can't have some bullshit lineup and then have like 30 shitty openers, and then a headliner who's trying to get you up for the first time in the night. You've been there for 3-4 hours. You tired. You fucking.
Okay, so the good thing is we made a little bit of progress in terms of that question, right? I think it sounds like everybody has, if we're going to call it a fault, from promoters, booking the right people for set headliner, to those openers, right? Bringing their entourage or whatever, and wilding out when they're there, and once they get off the stage, that crowd goes with them. To the concert goers, to maybe even the artists themselves, right? Manipulating the sound for previous acts that go on. So, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and it's something that to finish off my point. I remember Onyx. I can't remember the last time Onyx had performed in Southern Cali. Let's put it that way. And they came out. I want to say it was like 2013, 2012, out here to LA. And I'm like, there's no way I'm missing that. Ironically, they came out to Costa Mesa September 20th, which is my birthday. And I'm like, there's no way I'm missing this shit. I think I've told the story before, where I show up super early with my Onyx gear and my records. I show up. This is besides the point, but I see Stick and Fredro, and I'm kind of like, can I go up to them to get, because they were just mad wild. Either way. So you figure, okay, Onyx, who doesn't perform in Southern Cali, probably not even in the US anymore, because they tour, overseas. They're here in Cali. 1. 2, it's Onyx, right? Their shows, I mean, this is wild energy. Someone like an MOP, right? It's just something that you're just gonna wow the fuck out. I remember, and I don't know why for a split second I felt stupid, and then I'm like, fuck you guys, I'm still gonna do it. I think it might have been Shifty, or I can't remember what song. But they were performing or whatever, and it was still kind of, they were wild but not crazy. But then 3 or 4 songs in, that I think it might have been Shifty. Let's say it was Shifty. The beat came on, and I was like, oh shit, right? The beat kicked in, and Fredro and Stick were just like bouncing on stage. I find myself just I'm wilding out. I don't give a fuck. I turn around. I'm in the front. Not a big venue, right? It's just a kind of a bar area. I don't know, maybe 400 or 500 people. And I look back. I'm the only dude with my hands up jumping.
That happened to me. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So I stopped for a while. My brother-in-law was next to me. He's like, fuck that, dude. Just do your thing. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. The whole night I was just, and didn't give a fuck. Like, just do your thing, dude. Why? You got to look at these people just, and I still have video. I still have footage. But I can tell Stick was doing his thing. Stick didn't give a fuck. Fredro noticed that shit because he vocalized it. But I'm just like, I get it. I think it was Chef that mentioned Jizza is more on the calm, right? And I get it if you're just standing there. I'm not asking you to wild out all the time, but come on, dude. It's that vibe. But I wanted to bring that up because I thought it was funny that Onyx came out, and I'd figure I'd see someone because I know out in the UK, you see live footage of Onyx, and you see mosh pits, you see people in the front fucking just going all out, and then you turn around and look at a show here, and it's like, dude, that's like you might as well be just a local act performing for the first time.
Yeah, and that, again, and that could have. But here's the thing: that could have been case of a venue that booked. So let's say that place has shows, right? And this is depending on where it is, because it's like this out here. That place books shows, so maybe normally that place, that clientele is a certain type of crowd, like motorcycle motherfuckers or whatever, right? Or just whatever, like whatever type of crowd. They book shows, they book Onyx, but the type of crowd that's fucking with Onyx doesn't even normally come there, maybe too, in certain cases.
Okay.
And then you got like fucking, you got some shit that happened to me with Mayhem Loren. That's what I'm saying. He opened up for Jizza, right? And he was like, he said, everybody repeat after me. I just want to I just want to get money and fuck bitches, right? So I'm fucked up. I'm hot. I'm like, yo, I just want to get money and fuck bitches. You can hear a pin drop, yo. Like, like, they did it like 3 times. I didn't give a fuck. I did it, you know what I'm saying? But same shit. So, but that's how it is.
And that's cool that I mean, it could, because some people will vibe off of the next person, right? So, oh, this person's not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. Fuck that, dude. I paid for a show. I'm glad you even said it. I mean, you're there to see a live show, right? Um, I've told you before, when I go to a show, yeah, I get there early for 2 reasons. Um, well, actually 3. 1, because I need to be in the front. 2, because I'm trying to get shit signed. Like always, that's just what I do. And then 3 is I'm trying to catch the openers because there's always that diamond in the rough, right? That gem just within the bullshit. Yes, a lot of times it's a hit or miss, but I'm trying to get there early to get this shit. So um, if I feel a opener, I'm gonna rock out with you. I'm not gonna leave you hanging. And if you're selling, you put your hands in your air. Fuck it, let's do it. I'm vibing off of you. You're vibing off of me. I don't care if I'm the only one.
Yeah, no, of course. All right. I got a quick graph. We can move on.
Okay.
So, we've talked on several occasions, acknowledged that a graph existed on its own. It still exists on its own. It was going on before hip hop. There are a lot of legendary graph writers that do fuck with hip hop. A lot of early dope graph writers, white metal heads. So it's not just about. I just want to acknowledge it's not just about the music. We also know that hip hop is dropped the graph and it's a big part of hip hop, right?
Yeah.
So our page posts a lot of hip hop, a lot of graphs, big part of what we do. And there is some dope graph people are posting with like crazy, fuck this trap, like just wild fucker, like doo-doo music. And I guess on a bigger marketing level, social media, I see it with a lot of dope videos, people doing dope shit, already crazy ass music, but particularly with the graph, I'm like, this is a street thing, and I'm like, you're totally ruining it. So I post graph that I find, but we also have a graph admin on the page. Big up to my man Fu, UTI crew. He so he sends me shit every week, right? And one time I had to tell him, like, yo, what's up with this music? He said, oh, I should be on mute. I was like, you gotta listen to that shit before you send it. And I was like, man, I posted this one. What the fuck was this? Like, so not even just if fast rap, everything, just really trash music, man. I guess I'm just ranting because it's like the videos become useless. And so one time, check, this dude posted a dope video of some shit he did, or he was doing crazy hand style, fucking put it to some like little whoever. So I took it and changed it and put it to Royce to 5'9", boom,
Okay,
and
call you out.
yeah, he called me out. Rightfully so. I mean, like, he was just like, he said something smart, and I said, yeah, I get it. I was like, yo, that shit was trash though, man. I'm sorry, man. I said, I know. I know. I said shit was garbage though, and he blocked me or something, but yeah. So I'm just ranting because based on me being online all the time and getting content for the page and just dealing with that shit all the time, and it's just annoying because I wrote, you know what I mean? Like I was like I got the scars to prove it, the literal scars. Like I wrote and fucking so this music is a reflection of to me of culture. So it's like, yo, that's not your that's like mixing, I don't know, like taking some like mayonnaise and fucking, you know, a banana split or something, or you know what I mean? Or like I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that's just
yeah.
like total fuckery, like mixing of shit. So that's just my little rant
So,
there.
so okay, and okay, so I've seen that with graph. I've also seen that with b-boying. Now, whether I know we're not talking about b-boying, and I won't get into it, but whether the b-boy video was the music actually playing while the b-boy was doing his thing, or or put onto it, something else was playing, but someone put that onto it. I've seen it. Now, here's where I kind of like, I personally stuck in the middle. Disclaimer: I am no way, shape, or form giving trap music or whatever a pass. We know I don't care for it. Everybody
Now,
knows
you
that.
love it. You love it.
Fuck all that. Absolutely not. But I'll say this. Yes, it's whack. Um, I it, I've seen where like actually last night I saw something where I'm like, yo, this dude is getting down on this shit, and so I'm online a lot, after 10, 15, wifey falls asleep, that's when I listen to music hardcore. I'm just scrolling through Instagram, so I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? And I'm listening to music, right, my own shit. So I'm like, let me turn it off, let me see what music is being played, and it's on some, again, whack shit. I don't even say trap, it was just whack. I'm like, I really want to post this, but it gets to the point, it's gotten to the point where I'm like, because I understand if I'm going to repost something of yours, I'm not going to change anything, right? I'm not going to change the music because it's your post. I'm not going to change logos or whatever. That's your post, and I want to represent it the way you provided it to us.
No.
So I would rather not even post it, no matter how dope it is, based on the shitty ass audio it has.
Yeah. No, I did that the one time, and I felt bad doing it, and I did it, but yeah, since then I just let them go. I mean, I can't post them. I mean, I'm not posting that shit, yo. So there's been a couple of shits I posted, and I'll put on there on the big shit. I'll say mute this. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Yeah, I mean, and I think I've done that too, right? Where I'm like, I'll just mute it. I've never been called out. Here's another thing I want to mention, and this was where I'm caught in the middle. A very small part of my being almost
You don't see these.
almost I think it's dope. So if there's graph being done, and then there's that, I'm gonna call it new age shit, like trap, whatever it is, new age stuff in the background, whether the artist, quote unquote, is the one doing the graph or not, it's just a lover of the culture or whatever. Something in me lights up, like, okay, these are, we sit here talking about this new sound, these new artists, these youngsters or whatever don't respect the culture. That, all right, now there's some origin element, graffiti, someone likes this type of music that I think is trash, but somehow are, hey, this is what I grew up with, this type of trap music or whatever, but I respect the graph shit and they're merging it together. There's something in me that has a soft spot for that. But even then, like I said, I still won't promote it. But I think it's dope, right? Okay, cool. You're into the new age shit, but you're still respecting what we're putting work in for you guys to respect and learn and all that good stuff. But
So,
I fall short after that.
no, so that's a good point, and I'm glad you brought it up because I want to make a distinction here. I'm not, and I feel like I should have shared it early. I'm talking more about the fucking edits, like not necessarily. I haven't. I've heard some people. I may have even posted some people like writing with trap as their background music where they were actually doing it, and just let it go because it was so fucking ill. To be honest with you, but my complaint is the fucking edits. Could be
Yeah.
somebody's taking this shit and just taking whatever original music it was and giving me a fucking bullshit edit. That's my issue, and I see that all the time with
and because they've made the effort, right? I mean, it's edit, so they made the effort to go that
route. Yeah. So anyway, that's my rant on that shit. LT playing my trash. What?
I wanna answer Chef's question here.
Let's do it.
So Chef said, "What headliner really let you down during a show?" Living Legends, Sunspot. Wow. Okay, I've seen Living Legends millions of times.
Depends on the reason.
Any reason.
Depends on.
I would assume.
Cool Keith for me. Cool Keith came. Cool Keith showed up, and he was supposed to go on probably around 10. He showed up around 11:45. What 12? Rocked over his vocals. Rocked over his vocals for. Oh, sorry. We sat through. Motherfuckers playing on the controller. We sat through some subpar rap niggas. It's making me cry. So we sat through that first. Fortunately, I didn't pay. I would have been heated if everybody had paid their $20. Fortunately, I didn't pay. Sat through that. Cool Keith comes on an hour and a half late. At least an hour and a half late. At least. Rocks over his vocals for about 15, 20 minutes. Show over.
Yeah.
Show over. Now, the disappointment wasn't as big because I didn't pay shit. You know what I'm saying? I had a press pass and I went as media, but like, as far from a lousy.
That.
There you go. That's one of mine. I mean, but yeah.
And I'm sure you have a few, right? I mean, I think we all have a few where you kind of disappointed.
Yeah. So who you got?
So I actually have two main ones. I've had a few. The first one, I mean, I paid for both, but the first one was a big festival, Audiotistic, out here in LA. A bunch. The lineup was insane. This might have been 2001, maybe even 2002, sometime around there. Audiotistic, and Nas was the headliner. So you got to understand, I was fucking standing there since 7, and he came on maybe 1 in the morning, 12:30, something like that. Actually, I was probably there even earlier than that. Hours standing, hearing, I can't remember who else was there, but I was waiting for Nas. Mad late. Nas coming on time, so that was not a big deal. But it's mad, it's midnight, 12:30, whatever it is. Mad comes on, or Nas comes on, and he starts doing all his classic shit, but not on their classic beats. He starts. I can't remember what song he did, but he used a 50 Cent beat. He used like a Swiss beat, like a DMX beat. And I'm just like, wait, what? Bro, 5 songs in, I was out the crowd. I'm like, I'm out of here. I waited all day because that's what I went to see. I mean, I wouldn't see everybody else, but I had to bounce. I'm like, yo, I waited 4, 5, 6 hours, whatever this is, only to hear you rap over someone else's beats. Now, again, I get it. You know, sometimes your sound man, your DJ, whatever shit happens, I get it. But I was mad let down when that happened. That was one. The other one, I'll make it super quick. Same thing happened with Aesop Rock at El Rey Theater, 2004? No, 2001. I think Labor Days had just come out. Somewhere around there. I can't remember. And he did the same shit. You gotta understand, this is different, right? Nas is more on the boom bap. Like, it's, you know, certain beats, like you can rap over certain shit. Aesop Rock is different. His flow is different. So you can't just rock on mainstream beats. How the fuck he did it, I have no idea. But that was a letdown too, because Aesop Rock did the exact same thing, rhymed over mainstream beats. And the reason why I like Aesop Rock, aside from his extended vocabulary and storytelling, was he's just outside of the box, right? He's just different. So that, and then I've told you I'm a big Bone Thugs fan. Anything pre-Resurrection, I've seen them a few times, and every single fucking time they're rapping. You can't even, you can tell, you can hear that, but their mics are super low. The vocals on the track are super high, so it sounds like you're playing. I mean, they're really playing the CD. So even though I still wild out because I love the music, every time I've seen Bone, I've seen him 3 or 4 times. It's always rapping over vocals, and that's always going to be a letdown to me.
And you still go, man. You're dedicated. Fuck that.
Well, the first time, well, here's the thing. Let me confirm. First time, it was like, all right, that sucks. The second 2 times, I didn't go see them. I went to go. I think it was like what's that? Not the Godfathers of Rap, the something of rap. I can't remember what it was. Where it's like, Kumo D was there, Melly Mel was there, Salt and Pepper. It was just it was a bunch of. The Game was like the headliner, which was kind of weird. But they went on right before the Game, so I didn't go see them, but they were there. Same thing with the next time, and all 3 times they were, you know, rapping over their vocals.
That's whack. Straight up. Straight up. Good question, C's.
That's karaoke. That's true. I mean, that's what I'd rather stay the fuck. I paid, I don't know, like $100 and some bucks for the ticket because it was, you know, it's a big festival. Only to hear somebody rap over their shit. Like, I'm good, man. I'll throw it on the CD.
I'm good. Big up. What up, Chucky?
All right, let's keep it moving.
Yeah. What you got? You back to rap?
I just noticed 7:45.
Oh, graph.
Rap. So I want to talk about
graph.
Are we doing graph? What the fuck did I say about graph? Documentaries. See, I didn't know if I wanted to go documentaries or just, you know, just movies or whatever. But when it comes to graffiti, there's not a lot of where you can just say, yo, I'm gonna go sit down. I was gonna say rent a movie, like we can do that these days. You can just stream shit. But I do wanted to come up with a few graph-related documentaries or movies, or quote unquote. Obviously, Star Wars, right, is a good one. Can't Be Stopped, which just came out last year. It was a long time in the making. Can't Be Stopped crew, CBS crew from LA, and then Infamy. Infamy, not a lot of people know about. Infamy is a little bit more of I don't want to say it's a movie, but other than those 3, and maybe a few stragglers on like independent graph or whatever, any other documentaries you know related to specifically graffiti or graffiti related?
Hold on.
Can't Be Stopped is dope.
Yeah, what is the Code 2 Kings Destroy movie?
Oh shit.
That's another one. That's another one that would, I mean, whatever you think about Cope as far as his shit, big up AG the Corner. Whatever you think about Cope, I mean,
I didn't even think about that. That's right.
It's still a good movie. He racks paint in that movie and shit and stuff like that. So Um, that's a slept on one. That's definitely a slept on one as far as. So you said what Star? Let's look. We'll go to with Star Wars,
So Star Wars, which is
Infamy. Yep,
an
I
older
mean I
one.
know about that one. And
Can't Be Stopped, which is a documentary on LA,
that's that's
really on CBS Crew.
that's recent though, right?
That's like a year old, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So and then
Infamy.
in in this Coke 2 one. Um, other than that, no. I mean, um, I can't think of any prominent ones. I mean, there's movies that had it in it. You know what I mean? Like as far as Beat Street or whatever, you know. But it was prominent there, like um, Wild Wild Style. You know what I mean? But as far as but again, it goes back to what we're saying always about graffiti asterisk next to this fucking element, and that you know why motherfuckers be making movies, yo. These guys, I didn't, the whole goal is to be secret, man. I mean, you don't really make no movies until after, like, like maybe like Cause or somebody. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like he's FC Crew, but like graffiti's always gonna be different. It's always been different. There's always gonna be like even with movies, it's I mean, these are like we think four in the history of like graph that are prominent. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple. There's other ones. I mean, but like if you're but like as far as like just the actual for like the average hip hop fan, that's like really it. I mean, like even it's not even the Copeland or Infamy either. It's really fucking style. I don't know, Star Wars.
Bomb the system. Yeah, bomb the system. And that's why I bring it up, right? Because you say, all right, and the element of MCing, you got tons of documentaries, tons. B-boys, you
The
got,
secret thing, though. You know what I mean? Like that's what my hope real quick. Just the secretive.
yeah.
It's supposed to be ninja shit. You know what I mean? So sorry, not to cut
No,
you off.
no,
Yeah.
no. You actually took your words right around. Yes, right. We got tons of MC stuff because that's in the forefront. You got a bunch of DJ stuff, a bunch of B-boy, documentaries. Not as many that I feel there should be. But then when it comes to graffiti, you only got a few. So when I thought about it, I'm like, well, that fucking sucks. But then you start thinking about it, well, yeah, this is a street shit. This is secretive, which kind of I had another topic in terms of like social media and graffiti, um, and how that's used, right? So it's funny to me how social media now and I get it, you're trying to get your stuff out, but it was a different era, and I think that's why graffiti might be where it is now, where it used to be secretive, right? I knew somebody that was a prominent graffiti writer, and I didn't know it for like 5 years. iPad graph, yeah, so shit like that, where it's like, wait, you're so and so, like no matter how long I knew you, 4 or 5 years, you never said, yo, I'm so and so. That's how secretive that shit is, right? And knowing, and I was a prominent bomber, right? But I did my thing. But no, even knowing that, even knowing like, yo, you and I kind of fuck around with, here and there, and I spray gas, never told me.
Right. So there you
So
go.
no,
So
go.
we're back to rap. So I want to go with who has the worst rap. Who has the worst? Just a quick because I it's more of a venting session, therapeutic for me because I get so much. The people that dick ride for these artists, it's crazy. And there's certain ones.
Ridiculous, bro.
I've gotten death threats, yo. I've gotten death threats over Nicki Minaj, over yeah. I've gotten some death threats over Nicki Minaj. Facts. Like I thought I was gonna have to change my phone number, but it's like I got death threats. So I mean that she doesn't count in terms of like hip hop that we're talking about, but like Nas fans are terrible, terrible like stands. He can do no wrong. That's walks on water to me or to them. Jay-Z, his fans are like the worst, the fucking worst too. Jay, Nas, Eminem. I don't get Eminem fans on my page because that's just not. But I've seen them rock out in other areas, but I don't get them on my page like that. They know better. If they're on my page, they should know shut the fuck. So yeah, oh, Tupac and Biggie. Oh my God, Tupac and Biggie and punk fans. If you're hold on, I'm sorry. If you're a Latino, and I've done social, I've done comparisons. I was like, yeah, and everyone speaks Spanish, goes one way, picks pun. When I do my head to heads, everyone picks. Yeah, like people got like pun is like number one dude. I'm like, this dude was around for like 4 years. 4 years, come on, like so. Pun fans are the see there he is. Look, see, 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 see,
Good
see,
point.
see. There you go.
So okay, and that's exactly he's a funny guy, and that's exactly what we're talking about, right? And okay, it's dope to acknowledge an artist, and we grew up thinking these dudes are heroes, and then we come of age and find out you're just like me, breathe the same air, bleed the same blood. But when it comes down to worst fans, I used to think it was Eminem fans, because there's nothing better than Eminem. It doesn't matter what scientific breakdown you give, whatever. It's just that. He says I'm Boricua and I love punk. And I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that because that's a fucking pet peeve of mine. Not that you're Boricua or Puerto Rican or whatever, but that thinking that because we're said ethnicity, we have to rock hard for somebody. Well, and I'll get to that. But again, I thought M fans were the worst. Pac fans too, right? Because Pac was a messiah. Yeah, but you guys and Pac was dope in the beginning. Dancing Pac, you know, street poet Pac, dope. But when it got down to death row Pac, acting like he's a thug gangster Pac, come on. And these fans would be like, but no, nobody was saying shit like he was. What are you talking about? Why is intelligent? Brother Jay, intelligent hoodlum, Karis, what like everybody was talking about the same thing. It's just a different era, right? But when it comes to fans, I want to give you my pick of who the worst fans are, and it's probably gonna trip you the fuck out. MF Doom fans.
Oh no, it's not gonna trip me out. There, I forgot. Yo, oh my God, yes,
That shit woke you up.
yes,
Man.
yes. Like
Man.
the word. Listen, okay. I compare him to this. So I haven't eaten meat in 20 something years. I compare MF Doom fans to vegans, to hardcore vegans that are like pumping fucking this like, oh my God. Yes, the worst. Right, or at least currently the worst in my life right now. Like just really pressing up on. I don't get the Eminem ones that much. Look at me how they got me. I don't get the Eminem ones that much. Nas ones are terrible too, but I don't get the J the big the Doom.
It's bad. It's
You
bad.
see me blocking cats?
Yeah.
You
It's just okay because it comes off corny. All right. Let's let Kendrick fan. I don't come across Kendrick fans too much.
I get them. I don't not as much as I used to, but I used to get them in J Cole. But yeah, but go ahead.
So here's what I want to say about and keep in mind if you guys know me, I rock with Doom. I mean, rest in peace to Doom.
Right.
I've been rocking with Doom, right?
You rock heavy.
But I also I'm not gonna go out of my way to spell his name all in caps on a hashtag. And I get it. It's part of one of his songs. all caps when you spell the man's name. I understand that. I get it. But when this is where it gets ridiculous. When cats come at you in a disrespectful way, because you didn't put DOOM in caps, it gets a little ridiculous. Like, come on, guys, like that's a little stupid.
Then the second dude came right after that and was like, what the fuck kind of comment is that, yo? You get the fucking weirdos in here, man.
Rest in peace, dude. Oh, that's what you mean. No,
right above.
What the quite romantic, lads. I'm not sure what the fuck that means.
Fuck you, yo. You need to scrub your page, yo. Anyway, who the fuck? Anyway,
yo, one more weird ass comment, and it's
such a nice fellow.
A wise man wants that to the essence.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So
anyway.
yeah, I can't. I mean, again, it makes so Doom to me. I'll put it this way: Doom to me is a very unique artist. Aside flows, beats, and all that shit, all aside. Mookie Betts, what the fuck, Mookie Betts? All that aside, this dude really embraced 3 different lifestyles, 3 different characters. I mean, even in interviews, he had this down packed. Like when they asked him about Victor Vaughn, he talks third person. He flows third person. To me, that was brilliant. A lot of people get mad because he sent, imposters, but that's part of embracing the Doom and Victor Vaughn character. That aside, I respect that, but I'm also not a fan to where it's like, fucking scrolling through every hashtag Doom and you didn't do all caps. Oh, or if I say like, yo, when Doom dropped the Take Me to Your Leader album, I'm also not going to be like, well, that really wasn't Doom. That was King Ghidra. Well, yes, that was his alter ego, King Ghidra. It was still Doom. But I have people doing like that. Well, get it right. Like, what the fuck? It's still Doom, asshole. Like, what the fuck? So I'm not, I can't stand that shit.
No,
I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Don't dick ride.
It's
don't give a shit about you. Like,
it's cool to be a Doom, hardcore Doom now. It's trendy. It's, I don't know if it's hipsterish, whatever, but it's fucking trendy to be a hardcore Doom. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
You're weird and you're funny and you're quirky and you're cool. Fuck you. So
then you ask these cats, what was your favorite album? And they'll
get your man out of here. Get your man out of here, man. Get your man out of here. Get your man out of here.
Dr. B out.
What the fuck is going on? Okay. Delightful. What the fucking weirdo.
Fucking dumb piece of shit. Anyways.
It's 11 o'clock. Just so you know.
Oh, shit. I didn't even notice that. All right. What you got going on? I'm going to cut this shit short. Or not short. Cut it on time.
Just had a dope bill with Brother Jay concert elevation. So he gets major
shit was amazing, dude.
And so I don't know if you were on for the last part of it. Because
I did it.
Okay, so he gave a big announcement, huge announcement. In the next few months, we're going to be doing the Constant Elevation show live. Well, not live, but in studio, in person, from a studio, in Atlanta every month. Me and him, like, with a set, recording, fucking, so
that's amazing.
And get it out to some other platforms and stuff like that. But we're gonna have like it's not just gonna be hip hop. We're gonna have educators, cops, community leaders, activists.
That is music, bro. That's awesome.
So yeah, so he shared that at the end of the show, and then we talked about it before. We talked about it before we this. So he gave me some more details. So Yeah.
I listened to, because you got off, and I came back in for another 10, 15 minutes, and then I had to get off after that second part. So yeah, I didn't hear that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So that was in the second part, and yeah. So that's gonna happen with probably like the May or June show. Probably we'll be doing it. So it, I'm still gonna try to want to do the live joints, but um, it's gonna be on. We're doing it like in person. Yes. So
That's major.
yeah.
I salute both of you.
Yeah.
I salute you because I mean that's a major move, and not in terms of you're gonna you're gonna ride Bro J's fame or whatever, but this is work that needs to be done. From
We're gonna have really important conversations. I mean,
no, that it has to
that's the
happen.
thing. Like we're gonna have these conversations. We're gonna make sure they're heard now. Like it's not just gonna be like So that's the thing. So stuff we've been doing, take it to just a bigger platform. So
I feel crazy excited inside right now. That's super
gee,
dope, brother.
yeah, no, so it'll be good. But like talking real shit. Like example, we might have like industry executives, former industry executives, kind of talking like the real shit about like how the industry is. I mean, shit like that. Like, just teach it. We already got some like educators and some, some police officers and shit and stuff like
That's
that.
dope.
So, um, yeah, like it's about, it's not even about hip hop no more. I mean, it's
Well,
some other
we got to understand it's bigger than that, right? I mean,
yeah,
it'll get to that, but you start. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, that's super dope, bro. I'm happy for you, for both of you.
yeah. Thanks. So that's the big thing. I mean, we got Rob Swift on. We got Rob Swift on next week. And then we on the show, and then we got executioners, and then we got our man, a crewmate, Cuba, Kid Cuba, out in Denver. He's from out here, but 43-year-old b-boy winning shit. Don't talk. We got another b-boy on AJ. So yeah, we got our shit. We're doing another episode of this next week, and then we got our new format going, pretty dope too. So
Absolutely, we got Profile One coming up. We're gonna do our little under the radar, which I'm gonna pull up some other gems. You can pull up some other gems, and we'll rock out, brother. That's good news. Again, that you win, I win, and that's beautiful.
now everybody, it's gonna be great. So I mean, excited to see what happens, and yeah, thanks to everybody rocking with us, dealing with technical shit and feedback and whatever. But appreciate y'all, and yeah, salute Janine, other steady heads, Rubik's, everybody, Chucky,
Everybody, we appreciate each and every
everybody.
one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Janine, Lost Toast, that I guess he was a new cat, and I appreciate that. Weirdo guy too. I appreciate you coming in and wrecking shit. Posse Cuts Graffiti, got my attention. Yeah, we didn't get to the Posse Cuts, but we'll get to it next time.
Yeah, we got to grab. So yeah, we try to get to everything.
March 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. But I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, so rock with us next week. Tell people, we do this elements, real hip hop, and if you're about it, that's what we do. We couple of elements each week, and then we have a guest, and then we trade music, and so we try to keep it fresh and fun, and just chopping it up lighthearted. So, but we loved it. We do it because we love it, and so it's fun. I don't know. It's third
Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. So rock with us, Mars One. I know you probably got in a little late, but rock with us next Wednesday. All right, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Salute y'all. Be good. I'll talk to you sec.
All right,
Be good.
appreciate it.